Now the time, 12 minutes to 8, and a cyber attack on the Scottish Environment Protection Agency last year involved significant stealth and malicious sophistication. That's according to a group of experts. Criminals locked the agency out of its own IT system on Christmas Eve and demanded a ransom, which SEPA then refused to pay. There was a second attack when its staff were trying to recover and restore the backups. Our Home Affairs correspondent David Cowan has the story.
At a minute past midnight on Christmas Eve last year, SEPA received a ransom note from cybercriminals, joining a long list of victims. This includes Apple, LinkedIn, Sony Pictures, the NHS and the Irish Health Service. The size of the ransom hasn't been revealed, but the FBI says recent cyber attacks have involved demands for as much as £21 million. Having refused to pay, the agency was locked out of its IT systems, crippling its ability to perform many of its roles. The damage at the start was so comprehensive, SEPA didn't even know who it employed. In the aftermath, the organisation ordered a series of independent audits and has now published the results, making public within limits what went wrong, what could have been done differently, and what should be done to prevent other agencies suffering the same fate. SEPA's chief executive is Terry Ahern.
Cybercrime is a global scourge and it's growing, and it's a hideous, awful thing. So every organisation is at risk from cybercrime. So if we can help other organisations learn from our experience, then that's a benefit. Share lessons about something that's a risk to everyone, and then everyone can try and protect themselves better.
The audits were carried out by Police Scotland, the Scottish Business Resilience Centre and Business Advisors Assets. They found that for a public sector organisation of its size, SEPA had in place a reasonable level of cybersecurity. Its backups were in line with best practice. There were 3 copies of its data located at 2 separate locations, with 1 copy stored offline. But the design of the network meant that both sites were affected. The attack itself had involved significant stealth and malicious sophistication, and there was a second attack as SEPA's staff tried to fix the damage. SEPA's cyber incident response plan was inaccessible during the attack because there was no offline or hard copy version available.
Well, if you look at the reviews, and there's a multiplicity of reviews, the really reassuring thing for me as the leader of SEPA is they found no fundamental weaknesses in our defences. We were a well-protected organisation with a whole lot of good things in place. Of course there could be things that could be better. We're implementing all 44 recommendations, so as we build a new system, we'll be even better protected than we were before. The key message for everyone, though, is if even a well-protected organisation can be hit, it just shows that everyone is vulnerable.
The auditors noted that no system can be 100% secure. The police have recommended that Scotland's public sector organisations review and test their defences against the latest cyber attacks. Jude McCorry, Chief Executive at the Scottish Business Resilience Centre, says the country needs a cyber centre of excellence.
SEPA, we're not a badly protected organisation. We need a concerted and very heavily funded effort around a cyber security centre of excellence, or some sort of centre where all the main players and collaborators and supporters can come together to help support organisations, to educate them. What I would like is cyber criminals and fraudsters to look at Scotland and say, actually, we won't bother going there because they're so well protected.
As part of its COVID recovery plan, the Scottish Government intends to ramp up the country's defences against cyber attacks. 10 months on, SEPA's recovery continues. It's building a new IT system from scratch.
That was our Home Affairs correspondent David Cowan.